Hi everyone, my name is Ram Venketaramani. I'm a Senior Director of Edge Solutions at VMware. So today I just wanted to briefly share with you some of the trends that we at VMware are actually seeing in the telco space. If you really look at what has been transpiring in the past couple of years, the advent of 5G has spearheaded a whole bunch of transformation in the way which telcos actually manage and deploy their networks, as well as how they are actually bringing value to both their consumer business units as well as their enterprise business customers. So if you look at the telco cloud infrastructure, which is the heart of any operator network, you see them adopting more of a multi-cloud approach when it comes to deploying 5G technology. You see many customers using a distributed cloud kind of an infrastructure, which could be both cloud native as well as pure virtualized infrastructure for deploying RAN and some of the packet core kind of workloads. But when it comes to some of the other higher end workloads, they have been increasingly adopting the public cloud infrastructure to actually deploy and manage them in a more seamless fashion. So this kind of a multi-cloud architecture is allowing customers to scale their environment in a seamless fashion by deploying the right workload at the right cloud for the right economic purpose. Now, the other thing that we are also seeing from a VMware standpoint is a huge adoption of edge workloads or a huge adoption of edge infrastructure to support their enterprise customers. Now, when we in some of the conversations that I've had with many of our large tier one customers, we are consistently hearing about use cases for running computer vision based workloads or AIML workloads from a near edge premise, which is very convenient for many of these mom and pop shops, because now they don't need to worry about running their infrastructure and managing the infrastructure for running the computer vision workloads. Now, if you go into a retail store, for example, they may have a loss prevention kind of a use case which uses computer vision significantly to to monitor fraud that could happen in your self-checkout counters. But rather than running this particular loss prevention workload at the retail store where you have very limited IT expertise, many of the retail customers are looking at their telco suppliers to run these workloads in their near edge location. So this is becoming more of a norm as opposed to being an anomaly that is only happening in certain pockets of the globe. The other piece that we are constantly noticing is the advent of private mobility within our customer base. Right now, US has definitely been a leader in this particular adventure with the constituency of the CBRS CBRS system. Now, with CBRS, now enterprises have a opportunity to run private network on a dedicated spectrum. But in other geographies like in UK and Germany, again, the government has done a similar kind of a thing by releasing spectrum for specific private use, whereas in certain other countries, telcos have been given the charter to deploy private networks for the enterprises. Now, most of the enterprises that we have spoken to, by the way, VMware has a 300,000 plus enterprise customers today. And when we speak to most of our CIOs, majority of them, the consistent message that we hear is that they see and understand the value proposition, the benefit that private mobility brings to their enterprise edge, particularly the mobility aspects, the security aspect that your mobile technology brings, which Wi-Fi doesn't provide, and also the kind of SLA guarantees that mobile technologies are able to provide, which again the Wi-Fi doesn't necessarily support today. So these are some of the reasons why enterprises are looking at adopting private 5G in their edge locations. But hey, they don't have the necessary expertise within their enterprise IT organizations. So naturally, they are looking up at their service provider suppliers to be able to provide this functionality in a managed services model. And guess what? When you talk about a managed services model for a private 5G, again, the best way to deploy that is through a multi-cloud approach. You have certain elements that is distributed at the enterprise floor, but majority of the management elements is now going to be deployed and managed from a cloud-based instance. So multi-cloud is becoming a thing of a reality within the operator space, both for running their macro network as well as supporting their enterprise customers to run their enterprise edge workloads, but also to deploy and manage private 5G connections for their enterprise customers. Thank you.